Good evening, welcome, come in, take a seat, anyone you want. That's right. Curry night, Ruby Murray, mate, as they say. Homemade. And this is going to be, it's a Trinidad Scorpion curry. Because I had the chilies in, when was it? This last week. Because I'd ordered some insane chili flakes from what's his name, Mark in Llangollen. He's had some, and they said that he gives a good kick to his food, whatever he's making. So while I was ordering them, I seen this Trinidad Scorpion Chillies, so I thought I'll have a bag of them. So I put 2 in this. There's some other chilies, which you'll see, the red, lamb, all the other spices, sagaloo there, which is spinach, potatoes, tomatoes, and rice in there. Poppadoms. We're on Heineken this evening. Ice cold. Opened with Don't Mess with Texas. So cheers. Hope you're having a good week. Oh, welcome. It's Saturday night now. Saturday night. Alright. So what are we having first? Hope you can see the sun is still out and it's messing with the light of the camera, but not too much out. Let's try this lamb. Oh, and some chilies on there. Tender. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I love Trinidad Scorpion chili. Cooked this yesterday. So it's marinated and it's beautiful. No sun blush today. 28 degrees in here. The chilies, I only like that. Blended them with some homegrown garlic from a colleague, Gareth. Thanks, Gareth. I'm not sure he watches these, but homegrown garlic, beautiful it was, fresh. It's been hanging for a bit, and then the heat from 2 chilies in this, and I put some hot curry powder as well. That's a nice change. And I was going to put some of the Paul's Reaper rub, but I thought I won't overdo it. So it's nice. Sagaloo still piping out. So what are you having this evening? Anything exciting? Oh, you can't beat homemade. Homemade is the way to go. Oh, it's warm, quite humid, but it's cooled down a lot. Outside it's lovely now. There's a nice breeze. I only got these Heinekens because they were on offer. Pure malt lager, 5% strength. Been in the fridge for 3 or 4 days now, and in that heat it was very tempting to drink the lot. I've also got some Carl in here. Carlsberg, certainly not. Nothing wrong with Carlsberg. Been a busy old week. Everything's growing. Got tomatoes on 2 of the plants. There's 2 tomatoes on each. One of the money makers, God, that's a lovely heat now. I love the taste of this, and the heat is just brilliant. I thought, is it too hot to have a curry? But it's never too hot for curry. Tomatoes, yeah, the one's the money maker. The other one's on the beef steak, isn't it? Beef steak. That's going to be a big tomato. Strawberries. We've had a few of them now, and they're gorgeous, sweet and tasty. I've used some. What have I had? The chives. I've made what did I have? I used some basil in the last week. What did I use that one? Anyway, very nice. Leeks are doing good. Oh, but lighting's alright. Sorry. Leeks are doing fine. This is lovely. Under my last curry video I had, hot and spicy, someone asked, well, that's the first time I've ever seen anyone eat rice separately to the curry. Well, you've obviously never been to a restaurant. Because it's always served separately. I think he meant homemade. People have it just on a plate. You know, but I like it like this. It gives me the, I don't know, the feel of having a curry. These are only from Home Bargains. Mrs H been busy in the garden, landscaping it, making new new designs in it. Looking very nice. Lots of plants gone in. There's a section at the side of the house that way, which is like a narrow passage, never used, and it started to get brambles and nettles. So the other day, I in that heat, do some silly thing. I cleared the lot, chopped it all down, cleared it, and what a difference! Huge difference. This curry. So what I call a micro, mini curry. I had one lamb steak from last week's Sunday. Not cooked, it was raw. Like that. A lot of people wouldn't keep it for a week. But I know I'm all about meat and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's so tender and tasty. Beautiful. In the fridge, obviously. So one steak I've chopped into cubes, bite-sized pieces, and then I made the curry with that. So it's only a small curry, really. And most of it's in the pan here. And there's 2 chilies in that, Scorpion, Trinidad Scorpion. I think it was around 2014 to 16, something like that. It was the hottest hottest chili in the world, and of course it's gone up and it's Carolina Reaper. Well, it's not the Carolina Reaper now. It's another one. I forgot the name. Same fella that made the Reaper, though. I think it is Ed Curry. Was it Ed Curry? That's beautiful. The hell, how hot is going to stay like? Ooh. Bugger. Oh, this is a lovely hot curry on a hot day. You can't beat it. Get it in there. And then you got the sensation of the heat, the taste of the lamb. These chilies are just they're not hot chilies, they're just I left the seeds in, but they're not a hot, well, I don't find them a hot chili. They're really like that. Crunch from the poppadoms. Ice cold beer. Ruby Murray curry. Tomorrow's dinner is slightly different. I've got ribeye steak, beautiful piece, thick. I would have had sirloin, but they didn't have. Well, they did have, but they didn't look as good. The ribeye looked even better, so I thought ribeye for me, baby. So that was it. Got the ribeye, and I'm going to do some Welsh red potatoes. Carrots, broccoli and cauliflower, and the steak will be cooked in a skillet, cast iron. Not that you need to know all this, but some fried onions with them. I've got some mushrooms which I'll put in, and I'm going to make a beef stock gravy, nice and thick. So I'll cook the steak, it'll be well seasoned, room temperature, all that type of stuff, very important. And the fat, I'll hold it onto the fat, and that'll be seared till it's crispy. And then once the steak's ready, that'll rest on the plate for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then I'll put the curry, that's what you should have. I'll put the onion and mushroom beef stock gravy, nice and thick, over the top of the steak. And then it'll be served with the red Welsh potatoes, which will be mashed, salt and butter. There'll be a portion, carrots, broccoli and cauliflower, and then you'll have the steak and obviously the gravy of the steak. And the gravy will be made in the steak's juices, if that makes sense. Because I could have gone two ways with it. Could have done ribeye steak, fried mushrooms, onions, tomatoes, and homemade chips, thick cut chips. Oh, I think what do you call them in the States? Thick chip, the steak fries. I'm afraid I'll have to go for another one. Don't mess with Texas. Who asked you to move? You stay there. Thank you. No, it's been a busy week, and I apologise for not getting back to comments on this channel. I've got two channels, obviously, and sometimes I'm able, if I'm, say like a shaving video I do, say Wednesday, if I'm home and I can keep up with the comments, and it's fantastic, I love doing that. I've answered most of them and it's great. But sometimes when I haven't, similar with this, if I'm doing something, I might go on to something after this. Now I might go outside and do something or whatever. Somebody comes here. Last week was busy. Well, not somebody comes here now, but you know what I mean. You're doing stuff, or you might be watching somebody else's video or thing. Then the time's gone. You've had a few drinks, and all the comments have come. Like, so it's overwhelming in a way. but I read them. I do read them. I'll have to start putting because on my Paul H channel I do put a heart once I've read it, most of the time, so it means I've seen it. Thank you, I love you. But I appreciate them and read every one, so thank you. Don't need to think I'm arrogant or anything like that. Never, because what goes up can come down. If I was home all day, it'd probably be a different matter. Imagine I'd probably make more videos than so I wouldn't be able to. Yeah. Oh, this is lovely. This is what Saturday night's about. Just I mean, there's a lot of meat in that one steak, really. It's gone dark now. The hell is going on here? All I can see in that screen is a fuzzy, sort of dark version of me in there. No light. Not that that's a bad thing. But home, oh, this is gorgeous. Always worth making it the day before if you can. And it's just the right heat. It's burning in my mouth. Like, but I can still taste everything. So it's hot. Oh, this is, you know, I'm sorry now I didn't do a bigger, well, I did have the lamb, I should have bought some more lamb. But, got some in the freezer. I'm trying to run down the freezer now, calling it all names. Get it? I'm trying to run down the freezer. Oh, man. Using all the stuff we've got in it. And then, after it's all sort of more of it, most of it's used, then we restock it with fresh stuff, and it works well, that. Like I said before, we used to have a sort of a chest freezer. Oh, and you'd fill it, oh, that's good, and we'd buy this, buy that, fill this, and you'd full to the top. I think it was about 2 years before whatever was at the bottom was seen, and it's just, you know, if it's a big family of you and you go through everything, it's fine, but it's a waste. But this is like a drawer freezer, and the rotation's good. We've got a good method going. Do I put, sorry if I talk really small then, rubbish. Man, it wouldn't be me if I didn't. Delicious that was. Spinach. Popeye, love me. Right, I'll leave you to it. These go on very quickly. I don't realise them, sorry. So I hope you've had a, as I say, a good week. And you're having a good weekend. Nice Saturday night. Wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing, hope you're enjoying yourselves and safe and getting some hot spice down here. Good for you. Nice change the old Heineken glass. Now here we go again, going off on one again. I'm not getting out of it. I'm going just to say, I think milk, beer, anything in glass bottles gets colder, keeps better somehow. It's better. The cans are okay, but the glass bottles seem to make it even colder. You know, I don't know what it is, but it seems better. On that note, interesting note. Yeah, have a great weekend. Stay safe. If you follow me on my other channel, I'll see you in the morning, and if not, thanks for viewing this and thanks for all your support. Have a great Sunday tomorrow, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Au revoir, as they say in Trevenant.